in the division in November. That's where you start competing for championships.
Blasted by Sam Martin, healthy again, and Cohen's going to bring it out 7 yards from his own end zone. And look at Cohen. He's up close to the 25-yard line, and that brings out the 23-year-old. Howard behind Trubisky out of the shotgun, and they're going to throw it on first down, and that one sailed high, trying to get the ball in the hands of Cohen. Good protection, second down and 10, and outstanding coverage. Right there by their best corner. Some believe Lee Slay has played his way into making his first Pro Bowl this year. Third down and 10. And the catch is made and very close to a first down. That's Daniel Brown.
180!
So first down and the first carry of the game. For Tariq Cohen, he's able to pick up about 3.
Mark, the quarterback of that secondary.
That's Trubisky on the read option. And he dives right at the marker needed to reach the 48-yard line. Opening possession of the game. Play action. Fool Detroit badly. And a throw is across the middle, and that is a catch by Inman, and that's another first down. To that loss to the Packers here last weekend. They give it to Howard. And he's got some running room inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. Backs in the league.
180!
8th play of this drive. It'll be Howard again. Cuts it back to the inside. And he has another first down, it appears, to the 30-yard line. What an impressive start for Chicago. 25 of those came on one run. First down pass. Third time on this drive. And it's caught by Shaheen inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line.
Well, we said Shaheen's going to get involved, right?
They found Shaheen in the second round. And the carry is to Cohen, and he's bottled up for a loss of a yard, maybe 2.
Ability.
They run it to Howard, very patient, but he's down to the 5-yard line. You know, it's hard to believe. The 12th play.
180!
Covering 70 yards, 3rd and goal. Trubisky, great protection, and threw it down low. I'm not even sure if rear inside of 30 yards. Good snap, good hold, and right down the middle for Connor Barr. So the Bears, for the first time all year long, score on their opening possession. And the electrifying rookie out of San Diego, Jamal Agnew, waiting back on the kickoff. This guy is something else to watch. And oh my goodness.
Yes, sir.
What a lick he took right there. 9 draft. He makes his 106th consecutive start today. And there's another big hit. This one delivered by Kyle Fuller, and hanging on is Eric Ebron.
I think, Tom.
Of course, the Lions and the Bears keeping an eye on that game. And a perfect start for Stafford as he finds Marvin Jones. Jones had just 1 reception against Cleveland a week ago. First running play of the game, and the Lions don't do a lot of that. That's Amir Abdullah. Right back into the hands of Abdullah again. He shakes 1 tackle, steps out of bounds to the Chicago 43-yard line. Out of Virginia Tech was having a really good year. Now, he had a rough week last week against Green Bay. Back to the air, looking down the field, and it's slightly underthrown with an eye on Marvin Jones. Shoulder on this very field, but since then, he answers the bell. Nice open field tackle made right there. Ebron wrapped up by... 3rd down and 8. Center does pick up Kwiatkowski, but he's able to shake the protection, and the football is loose. And it looks like the Bears have it. At the bottom of that pile, it's Akeem Hicks. In their 3 wins this season, they've gotten it 8 times in an early one today.
Big play. A lot of times teams like to take a big shot downfield. Draw.
And it could be a home run. Jordan Howard inside the 15, the 10, run out of bounds at the 5-yard line by Slay. He's his way down inside the 5 in practice 2 days ago, but it's Howard Sniff in the end zone, and he's stopped at the 1-yard line. Then is an extra offensive lineman, and he's eligible. But they're looking to the end zone, and it is it a touchdown? It is a touchdown for Adam Shaheen.
You read the angle of the fullback. The fullback is wide. That's a pass. Right there, they recognize, Worlow recognizes number 58, but it's just a little late. But you have that big body. All Mitchell Trubisky has to do, as they like to say, throw him open where he can get it or nobody gets it.
Benny Cunningham, and it is good. They just missed blocking that one.
Everybody's contributing on that Bear offense.
Kickoff handled by Agnew from his own 1-yard line. He took a big hit the last time, and he pushes across the 25 up to the 27. Handed off on first down. Flags litter the field, and no running room whatsoever for Amir Abdullah. We wait on the penalty.
Legal use of hands to the face, defense, number 96, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I mean, in anything. Abdullah bottled up in the line of scrimmage. You know, the Lions have been so reluctant through the years, really since Stafford took over as quarterback. And they're going to throw it here. Stafford threw his receiver open. And that catch is made on the far side of the field by T.J. Jones.
Going.
John Fox is not going to challenge this call. Abdullah for close to 3 yards. You know, it turned out that Fox won the challenge. But that's the old adage about maybe winning the battle and losing the war. They're down in 7. And he missed a wide open Marvin Jones inside the 40-yard line. So the Lions will have to punt it.
They want to get to the playoffs, but any win at this time of year you take.
Fair catch signaled for by Cohen at the 15-yard line. We're only in the final seconds of the opening quarter, but the Bears have it going on. That's a nice catch by Cohen on a tough throw up and away from it. And that will be the final play of what has been the quarter on a first down. They'll hand it to Howard, who had a 50-yard run on the last drive. And that's an 11-yard pickup there. You know, Howard rarely...
The fact that he rarely gets tackled for loss of yards.
So he's zeroing in on passing Matt Forte for the most rushing yards first 2 years in the league. And look at Trubisky. Scott can run now. He's had a 46-yard run this year. There is a penalty flag on the play.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit, offense, number 75. The play results in a first down after the 15-yard penalty. It'll be first and 10, Chicago.
Bears had 8 penalties for nearly 80 yards, and they had 4 penalties decline. That ball's bobbled. And the Lions have picked it up. And racing back the other way is D.J. Hayden, and that'll be a touchdown for the Lions. So after the big pickup a minute ago, but it's taken away by the personal foul penalty by Kyle Long.
Care the snap first. We're going to take a look and see if the ball, that's a good snap. That's on Mitchell Trubisky. Then he tries to get the ball. Does not cover it up. It gets kicked around. D.J. Hayden on the spot. He's almost hearing a song. The honorable solo D in his head with the turnover. And then he's off. 7th non-offensive touchdown for the Detroit Lions this year.
And you're talking about the turnover chain. And as Chris mentioned, their 7th return for a touchdown this year. 2nd on a fumble recovery in as many weeks, in fact. Lawson had one last week. And now Cohen.
Oh, yes.
Took a big hit right there from Quandre Diggs.
Put anybody on that thing.
Well, you, Mary Lou Retton, and Bruce Jenner were the 3 I remember growing up. So off to the left side. That was a big deal. I mean, I know you're kidding around about it, but I mean, that was just... Now Trubisky, the safe throw to Shaheen, and that's short of a first down. Yourself. Right, so a third down, Howard along the sideline, and that's Kendall Wright for a first down up to the 42-yard line. Chris brought up earlier, the wide receivers were very active.
Watch your face. It's a little coaching point.
Set up the screen to Benny Cunningham. Got a good block. And Cunningham in the open field for close to 20. That was Whitehair, the center. His block sprung him loose, and Lee was hurt shortly after they acquired him. This turned out to be a huge sign by Rick Spielman, your older brother, the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings. Second down and 6. How about this? What a decoy there, and Trubisky easily tiptoes out of bounds. He badly fooled Jeremiah 2 yards. Cohen still in for the injury. We're assuming short Howard. And there's a gain of close to 10 on first down. Howard. This is another excellent drive by this Chicago offense. They play fake it to Jordan. They roll it back the other way, and now a throw for, 2 yards? But a positive play rather than the 5 sacks.
Prior to the pass, holding defense number 59. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Let's turn both. First down give is to Howard, and he'll find the end zone, Jordan Howard. What a start on offense for these Chicago Bears today.
Did not grab or hold, just used his body, number 15, to spring it right there, and he's off into the end zone.
Fewest among all NFL teams. And it is good. How about that? 17-7, Chicago in front. Ball is bobbled by Agnew, and he is tackled at the 14-yard line. Just under 8.5 to go until halftime on a cold day in Chicago. Theo Riddick wrapped up by Mitch Unrein on first down. Stafford with an eye on Golladay, who got tangled up down the sideline with Prince Amukamara.
By Amukamara.
Pass interference, offense number 19. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay, second down.
Porter in his first NFL game in the win over Atlanta week 1. And now Stafford just has to get rid of it. In hot pursuit, Leonard Floyd. And it's third down and forever.
Work screen if you're the Bears.
Stafford throws, and it is caught up to the 26-yard line, and that is a first down. Boy, that was too easy right there.
Respected as a downfield attacker.
Looking for running room is Theo Riddick, and he spun down after a gain of 4 on first down. Jackson, they will put a hat on him. They fake the end around, and Stafford looking down the field, wide open. And making the catch is Golladay. Riddick again inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3 on first down. Pass this year.
Won't be the last.
Stafford to the end zone. And it is a touchdown for Marvin Jones.
Watch a little hesitation right here. Off the bootleg, set up. See the hesitation? Nice job of Marvin Jones selling it. And when he gets around the end zone, rarely does he miss his opportunity. Look at a little swim move, too. A little pass rush move to get by Marcus Cooper.
Down in 15. And they get to completion. And then a couple of big pass plays to Golladay for 40-time Pro Bowler. Up until Drew Brees had the highest completion percentage in the history of the NFL. And, of course, he is from right down the road, Augustana.
Hurry, hurry, up!
In fact, his Lions have won 8 in a row in the month of November. Turn around and hand it off again. This is Cohen trying to turn the corner. And that is a nice play made by Darius Slay to drag him down short. So third down and 3. Lions trying to get it back before halftime. Trubisky under heavy pressure, and lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
Match between an offensive lineman and a safety coming from the linebacker position.
And this will be Agnew, and look out, he's run back a couple of them this year. Targeted Golden Tate yet in this game. You know that will change. And that's across the middle, and that is Golladay, who's made a couple of big receptions already in the game today, and that'll be a first down. You heard him say 94 is down, attack 52. We're going to ask Chris Spielman to give us some more inside football. And there's a juggling catch made by Golden Tate, and that is his first reception of the afternoon. All right, 2 minutes to go until halftime. Ball at midfield, and there was a collision there. Riddick, but no flag. Got tied up, it looked like, over there with Amos. Good protection. And a dart across the middle, and the reception made by Marvin Jones. And he's all the way to the Chicago 27-yard line. Robinson knew, and of course the great A.J. Green, and the Bengals elected not to bring him back, and the Lions made a nice move by picking him up. Golden Tate to the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6. The Lions taking a lot of time. And Stafford double pumps, throws, catch made, and spun down out of bounds as Ebron. Stayed a year ago, and he started every game as a rookie. Healthy again for the first time this year. Staying on his feet and powerful running by Theo Riddick. Daniel Fells, a big target, is checked in at tight end. And wide open for the touchdown reception, Amir Abdullah. And the Lions, their last 2 possessions of this opening half.
Through the hole, and nobody's going to pick him up, so it's a blown man coverage. And it's easy pickings for Matthew Stafford. I think Christian Jones was the guy that was supposed to come off on him. He got picked off.
And a point after by Prater is good. 7 for 68 yards. And the touchdown pass to Abdullah, who, by the way, has now scored a touchdown in 3 games in a row. 2 rushing and now receiving. That is Cohen. Just wondering when that red hat's going to walk through the camera shot again. There's a handoff that'll be the final play of this opening half. Or will it be? Yes, it will. Final seconds tick off. So here we go to begin the second stanza of this one, and Agnew will bring it out a couple of yards from his own end zone and tripped up at the 20-yard line. Booth with this team is the most important part of the ability is availability. And when you have a guy as talented as Matthew Stafford, to think that this is 106. Second down at 11. Put it in the hands of Marvin Jones Jr. I beg your pardon, that's Golden Tate this time, and he's still on his feet. There's a penalty flag down. Jones had a big first half.
They're lucky here.
Offense. One man in motion while another man was setting. Both did not come to a stop. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Do your job. Nobody else's.
Second down and 16. Only a 3-man rush this time. And Stafford slings it across his body short. Down and 16. 3-man rush again. Stafford looking down the field. And nearly intercepted by Kyle Fuller. There's a line drive, short punt. And returnable for Cohen, and he brings it right back to midfield. So excellent as the Bears get the football to begin the second half, and they'll put it in the hands of Howard. And he picks up a yard on first down, and let's check in with Peter Schrager.
Blocking, pass blocking is where the problem comes in.
Fake it to Howard, they roll the other way, and it's off target with an eye on Inman. Blitz coming, they pick it up, but it's incomplete with an eye on Marcus Wheaton.
A little bothered by the blitz.
Pat O'Donnell trying to pin him inside the 10, which he will do on the fair catch by Agnew. Cleveland had a streak back in the late 80s, early 90s, the NFL record of 69 games in a row. Boy, waiting on the block. How patient there was Abdullah. That's almost like a running play.
Patient. Allowing that block to set up.
Now they'll give it to Abdullah, and he's up to the 25-yard line. That's a nice pickup.
Then they'll attack you deep when they get you thinking about the short game. Like right there.
And now they're looking for the long ball. And it's overthrown to Galladay.
Amukamara is holding his hand. They're holding hands running down the field. So they're going to call it on the defense every single time. He's
Pass
holding his hand.
interference, defense number 20. Spot foul, automatic. First down.
Merrill. And handed off to Abdullah. Tries to shake a couple of tackles and is swarmed by Chicago defenders.
Got him matched up on a linebacker.
Stafford is sacked by Mitch Unrein. Sacks in every game this season. It's a 3rd down and 12. And now Stafford flushed out of the pocket. And he's going to keep it himself and slide down at the 40. Well short of a first down. And even with perhaps the strongest 21-17 game. And the Bears are going to get the football back. Martin healthy again, their punter. And will pen them inside the 5 as that trickles out of bounds into 3. And their last one began at midfield. They went 3 and out. This one begins inside their own 5. And back to the line of scrimmage, maybe for a yard. It's Howard. 2nd down and 9. Trubisky to throw it. And that's an important throw and catch for Shaheen. A first down and gain of 12, and a quick hit to Kendall Wright. He had 5 catches for 46 yards a week ago and for college game.
Missed his hole.
And dropped behind the line of scrimmage by Akeem Spence is Jordan Howard. In the backfield they find Cohen and he slips a tackle, stays on his feet. And one out of bounds, well short of the first down. A 3rd down and 6 for Trubisky. And that throw is too low for Daniel Brown.
That's the way that's going to go in the meeting.
Booming punt by O'Donnell, and this is Agnew. And up to the 22-yard line. And all right, here we go. Stafford and the Lions leading 21-17. They try the run game with Abdullah. Nothing there. And is having the best season of his career. Stafford all day to throw it. And he nearly threw an interception. 3rd down and 10 and early movement.
Well, they got Taylor Decker.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Oh. It was a 3rd and 15 conversion, which arguably is the biggest play in the first half for the Lions on offense. They dump it down and short, it appears, of the first down is T.J. Jones by about half a yard.
The punt.
Sam Martin puts a foot on it, and that'll back up Cohen to the 15, trying to get to the outside, and that is beautifully done. Beautifully done by Don Carey. Boy, been around a long time. Although Peter Schrager was wondering when we showed that picture of you from high school, is that's an incomplete pass. Trubisky going to play fake it. And then lay it off to the man he faked it to, Howard, out of the backfield. He's tripped up and a flag comes in late. 21-yard line.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Well, that's 2 big penalties against Kyle Long here today. He's already missed 3 games this year, although back out there today. And Trubisky sets up the screen, got a big block. And then leaping over a would-be defender to pick up significant yardage is Tariq Cohen. And this is a very, very important game. I mean, to both teams, it's an important game, but it's really important to the Lions.
Just like it's an important spot right here. I think they're a tad short.
They'll punt it. Crowd booing. Short punt. Bobbled. And then Agnew able to fall back on top of it. Very, very nice. First down, a good run by Theo Riddick. We'll see where they spot it. Peter Schrager. First down, they'll run it again to Theo Riddick. You know, Riddick was basically non-existent in this offense, and it's hard to understand because He had surgery to both of his wrists during the offseason, and this is Agnew, a rare touch for him. Final 12, now 11 seconds of this third quarter. Stafford, the screen to the tight end, Darren Fells, and the former pro basketball player over in Europe for 5 years. Downtown here last night where they lit up Michigan Avenue for the Christmas and holiday season. Big night. Second down and a yard. Theo Riddick has a first down. Into the running game more here in the second half. And Big Eddie Goldman team's got a fighting chance. It's a big game for them down in New Orleans today. And this is Riddick again, and again, not much running room. Peter Schrager will be all over that Floyd story. We'll let you know what's going on. And that catch is made inside the 15-yard line by Golden Tate. Spinning out of one tackle, Amir Abdul. That's a pretty nifty run right there. Second down and goal. And sacked. Just inside the 2-yard line. Stafford looking around. What a catch by Riddick. But the Chicago defense comes up with a sack by Jones. 39 in a row from inside of 30. This from 27 yards, and he's money in the bank.
Here to give their offense a little room to work in some field position.
This is Cohen from the goal line and out across the 20 and dropped right there. This year, I mean, they really, outside of the victory at Minnesota, you know, they really have not played well, offensively speaking, against the better defensive teams.
Hey, 59!
And for the time being, anyway, against Green Bay when they battle the Packers. Jordan Howard, a forgotten man in his second half. And a big run there, chopped down at the 39-yard line. And that'll put Howard over 100 rushing yards today. Ezekiel Elliott for the most 100-yard rushing game since the beginning of last year. And now trying to add to it the very powerful Jordan Howard. That'll be a gain of 8, if not 9. Bears need a touchdown and a point after to tie it. They hand it off, and it's Howard again. Another big gain for Howard.
Yeah, Dick. Yeah, Dick did, yes.
Trubisky, oh, that was a poorly designed play. I mean, it was ugly from the very beginning.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how Mitchell Trubisky can help himself.
1-yard line. Now you're right in midfield with a lot of work to do, and you're down by 7. Steps up and throws a bullet to Inman. He came back to get the football, which they teach receivers to do, but in doing so, he is a yard short of a first down. There's a penalty flag behind the line of scrimmage. It might be coming back.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Oh.
Defense number 78. Low hit on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Well, he's against the Lions this year. Third most in the league, and there's that read option, and Trubisky trying to break it to the outside rather than cut it back to the inside and lost his footing.
Well, I think the read was good to break it to the outside.
Second down and 8, they pitch it to Cohen, and he is sniffing the end zone, and leaps into the end zone, and it is a touchdown for Cohen.
And the ball's off to the races. Zettel has no business jumping inside. You're not going to do anything across the line of scrimmage. Do your job.
Point after is good. So how many times? 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Can the Chicago defense step up and make a play? With Agnew out, Amir Abdullah back to return kicks. Been a long time since he's done that. Flag comes in late. What the penalty is.
During the return, illegal use of hands. Hands in the face.
Ooh.
Defense number 27. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Sherrick
Detroit.
McManus. First down at the 24-yard line for Stafford. And he comes out throwing, and the receiver fell down. Jones.
I like the fact he got physical and challenged him.
Stafford. Crossing pattern, catch made by T.J. Jones, short of a first down. Peter Schrager.
The pressure inside.
They're down in 3. Wide open, slipping between the linebacker and the safety is Marvin Jones Jr. That'll move the chains with 4 minutes to go and the clock running. Directing a pair of touchdown drives, including the game-winning score to Eric Ebron. Now they try and run it. And Ameer Abdullah may be back to the line of scrimmage. Second down, 3:15 to go. Blitz coming. Picked up by Abdullah, and the defender fell down, and the catch is made by Ebron. It was LeBlanc who lost his footing, and the 2-minute warning in a 24-24 game. Ameer Abdullah picks up maybe a yard.
Big flag late.
In late.
Yeah, this is a big flag right here.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Who this year is hit from 58. Crossing pattern and a drop by Kenny Golladay that would have got him back inside the 25-yard line, but D2 to go. Stafford looking down the field. Now he's going to run it, and he'll pick up off target by Matt Prater to give his team the lead. Good snap, good hold. Man, this guy is something else. At least at the Pointer Sisters' age now. Like Scott Snyder and Tom Barbary up here in the booth. And 7 yards out of his own end zone. Cohen breaks a tackle. That is not a wise decision by the rookie. All right, let's see what Trubisky has. Pump fake once, twice, still looking, and then tries to throw a back shoulder to Kendall Wright, and it's incomplete. Oh. Trying to get into field goal position at the minimum for Barth, and there's a catch up to the 22-yard line. It'll bring up third down.
What they have called for this situation.
Trubisky throws, and a catch. And the clock will continue to run. Reception made by Trey McBride, his first catch today. He is hit from 54 this year. Blitz coming. Trubisky gets it away, and it should have been intercepted by Slay. 57-yard field goal, 57 the career long for Connor Barth. Trubisky throws, and that's Brown, the tight end, tiptoes close to a first down. Right on the marker, the 41.
Delivers the ball.
5-man rush. Good protection and a high throw. He had a wide open Marcus Wheaton. He was their best receiver a week ago. Trubisky looking around. And now trying to loft it down the sideline. And Brown got tangled up over there. They're down at 10.
Bringing 5.
Yep. And Trubisky is dropped all the way back at the 37-yard line. We're going to need a 13-yard gain here on fourth down. And right now, not looking good. Trubisky's going to run it. And he is going to get a first down. How about Trubisky to the 42-yard line? Oh, my goodness.
Getting some type of pressure. He feels his backside. Now watch him check. Is there a running lane that I have back here? Nothing open downfield, and we told you he was a good athlete. Washington almost had him. You had Miles Killebrew miss him in space.
Connor Barth's career long range, but they like to do a lot better than that. Trubisky guns it over the middle, and that is Edmond to the 29-yard line, and they're well within field goal range now.
That's a big league throw right there.
By Connor Barth. Snap, hold, not even close.
Wow.
Holy Moses.
Wow.
Talked about how windy it was, and Chris, you brought it up earlier, going to that end of the field.
It's good. The hold is solid. The kick, not even in the ballpark. Big win for the Lions, though.
Inside that NFC North behind Minnesota. And of course, they'll try and take a chunk, a big bite out of that lead when they play right here on Fox Thanksgiving Day, 4 days from now. That is a huge game in the NFC North. 9 in a row now the Lions have won in the month of November under Jim Caldwell.